Hey fitness family, now we are on to phase 2. Phase 2 requires more explosion, stronger calves, stronger hips, better proprioception, better coordination. So here we go. So now for the mechanics primers, we're only doing the speed drops. We're not doing the arm swings anymore because we're going to be doing arm swings on everything. We're just trying to get you used to it in the first phase. So for the speed drops, I calf raise up, I show control there, and I attack the floor with speed, get my pinkies up to my ears, go for the reps on the program. All right, cool. So after those, also we don't need big breaks after those, maybe like 30, 45 seconds. Now we have a circuit. So I'm gonna show you the 4 parts of the circuit, and we're gonna have to use cones again because we're gonna need those visual data. So for me, I'm gonna use just shoes that I have around. And it doesn't matter what your cones are. Some people use TV remotes. You could use fancy candles. Doesn't really matter as long as you have something to look at and jump for. Also too, just to stay in frame, I'm not gonna jump as big as I can. I'm just gonna show you the general positions. So for the first move, it is the single leg speed drop stick with lateral push. And I know these are long names, I didn't make the name. So I'm gonna be doing 8 of these, and I'm gonna be adding a second piece to what we were working on before. So after phase 1, I should have been good at doing this. And so here's the change. I calf raise up. When I drop to my left, my arms are to the left. I want to show control here. I throw my arms first, and I go 1, 2. And I want you to make sure you land 1, 2. This second leg hits the floor all the way. And I could do it all the way at the cone. I'm not going to go out of frame. I calf raise up, drop to the right with the arms to the right, land 1, 2. If people are having balance issues, we have to do movement patterning. So I would pause on 3 places. Pause at the calf raise. Pause at the drop. Pause at the 2-foot landing, and we'll get 8 of those. That's the new single leg speed drop stick. Now we have an angled bound. The angled bound is taking place of the lateral bound. So if the lateral bound wasn't good, the angled bound is going to be garbage. So I have 3 cones here, and this is my left cone, right cone, rear cone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up in the same position as I would for the lateral bound, and I'm going to throw my arms and land at the cone, boom. So I went right cone, then I go rear cone, my rear foot, the outside edge of my foot is to the cone. Then I go back to the right and the left. So I go boom, 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 boom. That's 1. So every time I come back to the left cone, that's 2. Every time I come back to the left cone, I get a rep. My external hip rotators, all my lateral ankle stabilizers are working really hard to do this. So I get 4 reps to that direction, making a 7, not a full triangle. Then I go over here, and I'm gonna do 4 reps from here. So I throw my arms, I go left cone, rear cone, left cone, right cone. Left cone, rear cone, left cone, right cone. That's 2. All right, cool. So let's say that's really easy for me. All I have to do is open my cones bigger. It doesn't matter how strong I am, how coordinated I am. I just open the cones up bigger. That makes it harder. Let's say I'm having a little trouble stabilizing when I land. Make my cones smaller. Get my hips back more when I land. The more I get my hips back and the more I let my trail leg and my arms swing through, the better I am going to be at stopping my body and slowing down. Okay, so now we have the penultimate steps. I'm going to move this cone for a second. For the penultimate steps, you're going to work on 2 big steps. Week 1, I only want the steps. I don't want the jump. So I'm going to pick my arms up, or I'm going to start with my arms down. When I take a step with my right leg, I'm going to pick my arms up. I'm taking a big step. I want my leg in line with my hip. Then I'm going to take a little step in front, and it's going to be slightly internally rotated, and my pinkies are up towards my ears. So from the side, it looks like this. The reason I land with this foot slightly in is to add torsion to the hip, so on week 2 when I jump, I can get more power out of my hip. So I'm gonna do 4 reps leading with my right. So I go big step, little step, pause. So this would be rep 2 on my right. Big step, little step, pause. Then I would switch sides for 4, or whatever the rep range is on your program. So I go big step, little step, pause. So that's week 1, and I just want to build up the coordination. I want to show control in the positions. And then on week 2, if those look coordinated, I add the jump. For the jump, once I take that step and my hips are back and my pinkies are high, I'm gonna just swing my arms, drive my hips and calf raise, and go for a little bit of height. So big step, little step, and then jump. And just so you know, you don't need to jump as hard as you can. We want to get really good arm swing mechanics. This is where a lot of my power is coming from, so I want to get awesome at that. And the number one thing you should be focused on now in phase 2 is your arms. They should be doing like 30% of everything the whole time. Okay, so now you have step-ups, nothing's crazy. Whatever surface you used on phase one for your Bulgarian lunges and for your elevated shoulder bridge marches, we can use for the step-up. So I'm getting a little heavier. This is made out of plastic, so I'm gonna do my best. So I'm gonna lean over this leg because here, my weight's on this leg. I could take this leg away, but I can't take this leg away, or this leg away. So I'm gonna lean over the leg that I'm gonna be standing on. I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna show control at the top. Then I'm gonna drive my hips back. I'm gonna angle my standing knee out. Hip goes back first. Then I'll start bending and I'll go down. I'm gonna go for 10 of those. If my balance is not so hot, maybe I do it on a stair first, and then I find something a little higher. So that's 10 on each side. That is the circuit for phase 2. Phase 2 should be done 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, and then you have a second circuit. The second circuit, we're gonna do 3 different moves, and we're gonna do them for 20 seconds of reps, and then 10-second holds. So, all right, so let's go hands on the hips. I'm gonna do reverse lunges like this for 20 seconds. Once I get 20 seconds, I'm gonna hold with my knee hovering above the floor, so this one's not touching, for 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 1, and then I'm gonna push and switch. Immediately go into 20 seconds here. You should have a timer that's readily available to you this whole time. If you use that boxing timer that I usually have people do, we can set 20-second rounds with 10-second breaks, and you'll be perfect. This leg plant, knee goes, I go for 10 seconds, I hold for 10 seconds. Then I immediately move into prisoner squat. I interlock my fingers behind my head, my elbows come back. Toes are out, and I'm gonna drive my knees out and squat for 20 seconds. After 20 seconds of squatting, I'm gonna hold at the bottom. While I'm holding at the bottom for 10 seconds, I'm gonna drive my knees out and arch my back as much as I can. As soon as I finish those, I go into cross-legged squats. For the cross-legged squat, I'm gonna pull my ankle above my knee, and to go down, I'm gonna show you from the side, my hip has to go back. And I'm gonna do this for 20 seconds, and then I'm gonna do a 10-second hold at the bottom. And you don't have to get parallel, it's all good. Then I switch legs, I go 20 seconds here. I just lost my balance, this is my hard leg. As I go down, if I angle my right knee out more, I can get down lower, so that's a little key. And then I hold for 10 seconds. Then I'll take about a minute break. I'll start that over, do it 3 times. And that is the end of phase 2. So I will see you guys soon for phase 3.